Hi everyone, welcome to the red screen. I've been digging through a bunch of upcoming indie horror demos, and for once, every single one of them actually hit the spot. No trash, no wasted time, just proper survival horror the way it should be. Today I'm talking about Flesh Made Fear, The Lunar Effect, Risu, Scarlet Lake, Holstin, Killing Antidote, and Phase Zero. If you grew up on Resident Evil and Silent Hill like me, you'll understand why these stood out. And if you didn't, well, too bad, because my taste is better than yours anyway. Support the channel by subscribing, liking, commenting, or asking me something stupid. I might even reply if it's interesting. Let's get into it. Alright, so this is Flesh Made Fear, an upcoming horror game that gave me strong PS1 survival horror vibes. Think classic Resident Evil and Silent Hill. The low quality textures and audio actually made it feel nostalgic. Like I was back in the late 90s playing a horror game on a CRT TV. The foggy, dark environment and that unsettling music really built the atmosphere.
Blood everywhere. Something happened here.
The story is fascinating. It's about a doctor experimenting with a mix of science and ancient rituals to control humans. It's eerie, mysterious, and exactly what you'd want from a game like this. The controls and gameplay are simple and very familiar, so it's easy to pick up and play. Even the unnecessary obvious conversations add to that PS1 charm. It almost feels like a lost classic. If this looks interesting to you, make sure to wishlist Flesh Made Fear on Steam and support the developers. Next is Holstin, and this one really stood out to me because of how unique its gameplay feels. The whole experience is super interesting, especially the way you can change the camera angle on the fly, which gives it a fresh twist compared to most survival horror games. The voice language is in Russian, at least I think it is, so you'll be reading subtitles most of the time. Honestly, it didn't bother me because the character voices are really well done and add a lot to the atmosphere. The puzzles are satisfying too. The hints are easy enough to find, but it's still fun to solve. Overall, Holstin feels like a very creative take on the genre, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where the full game goes. If it caught your attention, check out the Steam link in the description and wishlist Holstin to support the developers. So this next one is Risu. There honestly isn't too much to say. The demo is pretty short, around 10 minutes, but it still managed to leave an impression. The atmosphere is definitely weird and a little unsettling, which I love for a horror game. And the music at the end, I can't even describe it properly. It was strange, but in a good way. It stuck with me. If this piqued your curiosity, you can find the Steam link in the description. Go wishlist Risu to support the developers. Alright, next up is Scarlet Lake, a proper retro survival horror game. You play as a detective searching for his wife in a really messed up town. Yeah, it sounds familiar, and I mean that in the best way. The demo had some straightforward puzzles and a bit of backtracking, finding keys, basically all the classic survival horror staples. There's even a currency system, and the devs mentioned that the full game will have a merchant where you can buy supplies, which sounds really interesting for this genre. If this looks like your kind of game, you can find the Steam link in the description. Go wishlist Scarlet Lake and support the developers. Alright, so Killing Antidote. I'm honestly not sure what to say about this one. The shooting is definitely fun, and the level design isn't that bad. You can even change clothes, which was a nice touch. But I didn't really get a strong sense of a story from the demo. It just didn't click for me in that way. If you just want to shoot zombies and have a good time though, this will probably scratch that itch. It feels closer to the modern Resident Evil games rather than the classic ones. More action, less slow burn horror. There was also no music in the game, which made it feel a bit empty. If this seems like something you'd enjoy, check the Steam link in the description and wishlist Killing Antidote to support the developers. The next one is the Lunar Effect, and wow, it absolutely nails the Silent Hill atmosphere. The entire game has this eerie, unsettling vibe, with haunting music and even a ghost-like enemy that kept me on edge. I didn't see much action in the demo, but that's not a bad thing. It leans heavily into psychological horror. You can tell the developers are huge fans of Silent Hill and Resident Evil. The influence is everywhere. From the very start, the game throws you into puzzle solving. They're not too hard, but they're clever enough to be really fun. It feels like a proper throwback to classic PS1 horror where figuring things out was half the experience. If this caught your interest, check out the Steam link in the description and wishlist the Lunar Effect to support the devs. Okay, the last one. This is the one. Phase Zero is exactly the kind of game I wanted to experience. It feels so much like the classic Resident Evil games, and it instantly brought back all those good memories of playing Resident Evil 1, 2 and 3. The music is great, the gameplay is smooth, and the mechanics feels just right. It really delivers everything you'd want if you're a fan of classic Resident Evil. If you're into survival horror like me, make sure to show the devs some love. Check the Steam link in the description and wishlist Phase Zero to support them.